welcome back. As you can already tell, today we are going to be testing out a full face of Glossier products. They started shipping to Canada back over the summer, and ever since then I have just been dying to test out all of their products and of course share my thoughts with you guys. If you are unfamiliar with Glossier, first of all, I mean, where have you been? They are such a buzz about brand recently. They're a very minimalistic, effortless, no makeup kind of brand. That's definitely the vibe they've got going on. I really see them as the type of makeup brand that's all about your natural skin showing through and just like a very fresh face, dewy, glowy kind of makeup look. I feel like they definitely have a slight reputation for being better for like dry to normal skin, so I'm very intrigued to see how they perform on my more oily and imperfect skin with my acne scarring and everything like that. I'm also pretty red right now because I just came in from the cold. I actually have every makeup product that they currently make in front of me right now, and it is a total of 8 products, so I will be pulling from other brands for things like mascara and just the products that they don't make, but for the most part I'm sticking with a full face, one brand kind of video for Glossier. Finally, before we dive in, I do have a link for you guys that will be in the description box down below that will get you 10% off your first order. If you use that link to make a purchase, I will also receive a credit for future purchases on their website. That's not a link that I have because I'm like a YouTuber or anything. If you sign up and create an account, you will get one of those referral links to share with your friends as well. And of course, all of the products I mentioned specifically will be linked in the description bar as well. But let's get into it. So I've already gone ahead and applied their priming moisturizer as my base. I applied this quite a while ago, so it's had a lot of time to kind of absorb into my skin. I've already been testing this out for a couple weeks and I've really been enjoying it. I do have a handful of their other skincare products that I have been testing out as well, and one thing I have to say I really appreciate is everything from what I have seen so far has been fragrance free, which I really appreciate having sensitive skin. Moving along to their Perfecting Skin Tint. This is their base product that they currently offer, and the tagline for this is more skin, less makeup. Going back to that whole kind of letting your natural skin shine through. I picked up the shade Light, which is the lightest. It is available in 5 different shades. Since it is more of like a sheer product though, the range is actually pretty good. They have all the way from quite fair to a deeper skin tone. With sheer products like this, the shades tend to be very forgiving, so even if it's not an exact match, you can typically make it work. So I think I'm just going to start by dabbing this on. I know this is going to be probably a little bit too light for me right now, but once again, I'm hoping it blends out okay. I just kind of picked this shade with like, you know, winter coming up and everything, in that kind of mind frame. The texture of this is thin, but not quite as thin as I was expecting. It does have kind of an emollient and hydrating feel, definitely, and I'm going to be blending this out with my NYX foundation blender. This is a dense sponge, which tends to work really well when you want to get like the maximum amount of coverage that you can with a sponge application, because it doesn't absorb a ton of product. So they say this product is supposed to even out discoloration, but it's not supposed to hide things like freckles or your pores or anything like that, and it's meant to be just like lightweight and breathable. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit more product and do the other side of my face. By the way, just excuse my hair. Like I said, I just came in from outside. I was out walking Tigger, and like I had a scarf wrapped around my head and my hood up, and I've just been blessed with the baby hairs for 1,000 babies, so my hair is kind of a frizzy mess. I'm liking this so far. It definitely is like a little bit too light for me, but it literally feels like I have nothing on my skin. This is definitely like a level of coverage that I'm comfortable with for my very light makeup days. I want to see if I can just kind of build it a little bit just right in here where I'm still quite red. I've really been loving this sponge, by the way. I've been using it since I got it back in October. And it is a really great sponge. But moving on to the stretch concealer, once again I picked this up in the lightest shade. It's just like a little pot concealer, so I'm going to start taking this on my ring finger, and I'm going to start in the eye area. The whole idea behind this concealer is that it's really meant to be undetectable and just kind of melt and blend into your skin and look very dewy and natural. I'm just bringing this, oh, this is kind of like pilling a little bit with something else that I used. It's weird, I think it must be reacting to like my eye cream that I used this morning. When I'm doing really light makeup looks, I like to bring my concealer just up onto my brow bone, but not so much onto my lid. I do have naturally darker lids, as you can tell, and I kind of like that to show through a little bit because I think it makes everything look a little bit more natural. So there is one eye done, so you can see the difference. Definitely provided a good amount of coverage and really brightened up that area, which is most important. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other eye. For being more of a dewy hydrating concealer, I'm really impressed with the fact that it's not really creasing in my expression lines under my eyes. I'm also just gonna take a little bit and dab it on this, or these little blemishes that are still showing through. And I think I'm gonna get in around my nose as well, because I definitely still have some redness peeking through there as well. Next, we are going to move on to their famous Cloud Paint Cheek Color. I don't know what it is about the name Cloud Paint, but that name is just so appealing to me. I'm just like, I want this on my face immediately. So I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of this out. I chose the shade Puff. I was just going for like very natural nude kind of hues. I'm going to use my standard trick for liquid and cream blush. I got a little bit on my hand, and then I'm going to take my stippling brush and just kind of evenly coat the hairs and then stipple it onto my cheeks. This works a lot better for me than like applying it with my fingers, because I find with your fingers you kind of smear everything around. But they say this is meant to have a pillowy gel cream formula. I'm just going to apply just a little bit. Looking very blushed right now, so I'm just gonna go back in with the sponge with no additional product and just kind of soften that up. I like this a lot. It's definitely very soft and natural. It is also available in 4 shades too. I can definitely see myself checking out other shades in this. I really like the formula so far. Before we set everything, I'm going to try out their cream highlighting stick. This is called the Halo Scope. This is actually one of the products that was sent to me by Glossier. If you follow me on Instagram, I did a little unboxing of the package from them. I didn't actually realize this came in more shades. I thought it was like a universal, like one shade fits all kind of product, so I didn't like specify when I was talking to them that I wanted a specific shade. So they sent me Topaz, which is actually their deepest highlighting shade. It's more of a golden color. So I was kind of nervous, but then I went on their website and looked, and they do have like pictures and like a video demo of it being applied on a lighter skin tone, so that made me feel a little bit better. I definitely probably would have gravitated towards one of their lighter shades though. I'm just gonna take my NYX sponge again and just kind of like get this on the flat edge there. And I'm just going to start kind of dabbing that onto the high points of my face. I might need to go into my fingers because I don't know how much color this is going to give me. It's definitely giving me a bit of a glow. And I don't know if you guys saw, but the center of this is actually kind of like a solid oil kind of base to make it extra hydrating and dewy. I'm gonna try applying it straight from the stick on the other side of my face and then blending it out with my fingers. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit dark. I'm gonna stick with the sponge because that was giving me more of like a kind of sheer wash of color. And that's like a lot more evident as like a little stripe on my face. Just going to apply it to all the high points of my face, just very lightly. Yeah, if you have a similar skin tone to me, definitely go for Quartz or Moonstone, because that's definitely going to give you more of a glowy effect. This still definitely gave me some radiance, as you guys can see, but it's just going to be more subtle because it is like deeper than my skin tone. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to take some on my finger and apply this to my lids because they don't really have any eye products. I was just gonna do mascara, but let's throw a little bit of this on the lid. Definitely very subtle. I didn't use primer today, so I'm worried this might get a little bit too oily, but we're just gonna roll with it. Moving along to set the face, I'm going to be using their Wowder Setting Powder. I believe this is actually their newest product that they are selling, and this comes in a really, really cute little jar, and then it's got like the little kind of mesh kind of sifter in here. You can buy the Wowder individually, but then they also have a duo that comes with this little brush. It's kind of like a flattened powder brush. So this is available in 3 shades. Once again, I have the lightest, which is light medium. I'm going to do a very targeted application with this because I do still want to look kind of glowy and dewy. And the description for this powder says it's for the non-dewy days. So I'm just going to apply this under my eyes. Definitely darkening up my eye area a little bit, but I don't really mind. This powder is actually surprisingly dark. Like, it's definitely darker than the lightest shade in the skin tint and the concealer, as you can probably already tell. So I think already it'd probably be nice to see like a translucent option for this powder. I'm gonna do a little bit just down the bridge of my nose and just like in my T-zone. I don't want to darken things up too much though. So this powder is meant to cut down the shine, blur the appearance of pores, and it's not meant to be cakey or like settle into fine lines. Once again, meant to have a very skin-like kind of finish. I'm gonna powder my brow area too before we go in with brow products. I'm liking the feel of this powder, but once again, I think they could definitely benefit from adding a lighter shade option or just like a straight up translucent version once again. Next up, we have got brows. I feel like this is the product Glossier is kind of most known for. It was the first product from them that I had ever heard of that ever kind of like piqued my interest, and that is the Boy Brow. This is a tinted brow gel. I need a little bit of extra help in the brow department. My brows are very fine and light naturally, so I'm gonna take my brow pencil really quickly off camera and just kind of like add in my tail and make them a little bit more defined before I go in with this guy. Okay, so now that we have a little something to work with, I'm going in with Boy Brow in the shade Brown. I feel like these kind of tinted brow gel products are really geared towards people who have like naturally full brows that just need, you know, like a little bit of help. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. I wish I was. This product definitely gives me like gimme brow kind of vibes. Like it's got like the little tiny wand, which I love. And it's just meant to kind of fill in and shape your brows, but not make them like crispy like some brow gels will. I'm really kind of brushing the hairs here upwards for like a more feathery, natural kind of look, aka the brows I wish I had. Cue the comments of everyone telling me I should wear a more natural brow all the time. Definitely loving the brows. Once again, gonna quickly pop on some mascara off camera. I'm just going to use my favorite Maybelline Lash Sensational. I've been using this eye serum that also kind of doubles as like a lash serum and also a lash primer. And I haven't been using it for that long, but I feel like it's definitely making a difference because my lashes look a million times better than they typically do. I also just popped a tiny bit of nude liner in my waterline. Finally, we are going to be wrapping things up with their two lip products. First is their Generation G lipstick. I picked up the shade Light, which is described as a light powdery pink. They are meant to be a sheer matte lip tint for that freshly blotted kind of look. So let's go ahead and apply it. I am always kind of nervous with shades that are described as like light and powdery because my lips are so pigmented. But this seems to be giving like the right amount of color and not like washing out my lips. I love the feeling of this. It really glides on and it definitely does look very natural and like you've just like blotted off your lipstick, which is a look that I love. It's like matte, but it's got a nice slip to it. It's really nice. And once again, not scented at all, which is pretty cool because most lipsticks have a fragrance to cover up the smell of preservatives. This color is very My Lips But Better, but with like a hint of berry. And the finishing touch is going to be their lip gloss. This is just a clear gloss. It's supposed to be very cushiony and just give it a really nice shine. Not sticky at all. Always good. This does seem to have a tiny bit of a scent. I love a good glossy lip, you guys. Like, I am so into a glossy lip lately. I feel like that kind of removed the lipstick color because now this just looks like my natural lip. I love the feel of the gloss, but I think I'm gonna take it off and just apply the lipstick again because I was liking the look of that a lot better. Yeah, I definitely like this lip better with this look. Don't get me wrong, I like the gloss. I will definitely use it, but in the future, I will probably use it just on my natural lips, but with a little bit of powder over them to mute the natural color. Or like a really pigmented full-on lipstick. I probably wouldn't recommend it for sheer lip colors like this. So this is the finished look. Those were all of the products that I had to test out from Glossier. And I have to say, I am really pleasantly surprised. I'm really happy with how this look turned out. Like, it's definitely pretty much exactly what I look for in terms of like a light makeup, no makeup kind of day. Honestly, I really like everything I tried. The only things I'm like slightly iffy on would be the Wowder and also the Halo Scope, but I think the formulas of them are really lovely. It's just more of a shade issue. Like, I can definitely see myself picking up the lighter shades in this product, and I would definitely use this all over the rest of my face. I would just steer clear of the eye area because once again, it definitely took away some of that brightness. I feel like this look would have turned out a little bit better without this product, but now I know for the future. I'm like looking at the products trying to like figure out which ones were like my favorite, but I liked everything. If I have to pick, I would probably say my favorites are the Cloud Paint and the Perfecting Skin Tint. I actually really like this, and you guys, it honestly feels like I have no makeup on my face at all. You know, now that my acne is clear and my hyperpigmentation is fading really nicely, I am finding myself gravitating more and more towards like light coverage products like this. I'm definitely going to continue using everything that I tried in today's video, and I'll probably pick out more shades in the Cloud Paint and probably the lipstick and the Halo Scope as well, I'm not going to lie. I think for a lot of people with similar skin to me, the thing that they've kind of been afraid of with Glossier is that the products were going to be like too dewy and too hydrating and too wet looking and just kind of like draw attention to imperfections, but I really think they've struck a nice balance with like natural hydrating makeup that isn't going to like make your pores look extra large or make you look like overly shiny and things like that. I think it's a really nice balance. But I think that's where I'm going to wrap up today's video. Once again, super pleased. I would definitely recommend checking out all of their products. I am going to keep you guys posted on Snapchat and also my Instagram stories if you want updates as I test out these products more. And once again, I have been trying out the skincare as well. Like, I've got the Milky Jelly Cleanser and a couple of their serums and one of their masks as well. So I'll probably update more on those on social media as well. Once again, products will be linked down below, as well as that link to save you a bit of money on your first order. I would definitely recommend checking out Glossier. My first impressions are definitely fantastic. But give this video a thumbs up if you did find it helpful. Go follow me everywhere on social media. I am at Sarah Rihanna on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And hit that subscribe button down below if you're new to my channel. But I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.